know that what you need to do to lose fat and gain muscle most efficiently as a man is different when you're at 20% versus 10% body fat? In fact, there are 4 stages that men go through when trying to body recomp. And by the end of this video, you'll know which of these 4 stages you're in and what strategies you need to body recomp in most efficiently for your stage. Hi, Richa and Lucy here from CoachViva.com. For the best advice on how to be a badass body boss for life, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to be notified for our videos every week. Before we begin, I want to quickly announce that a few spots have opened up for our free one-on-one consult for our Badass Body Boss program. So make sure you stick till the end of this video for the details on that. Now let's get started.
One of our clients lost 12% body fat by implementing different strategies at different stages in his fat loss and muscle gain journey without dipping into the skinny fat territory. And I want you to be able to do this too. Here's what a lot of people get wrong and end up either wasting time or burning themselves out. And this is something that all the blog articles and videos out there ignore. And that is the stage where you're at right now. You don't need to do the same thing at 20% body fat that you would need to do at 10. And I'm curious, what's your current and goal body fat percentage? Comment below and let me know.
First, let's start with the greater than 20% body fat stage. This is where 80% of you are at right now. At this stage, your primary focus should be on fat loss, which means eating in a calorie deficit. Check out this video on what to do about that. As a bonus, you can also add strength training to start building some muscle too, but it's not mandatory yet. Check out this video on how to start strength training.
The next stage is the 15 to 20% body fat range. Most men in this stage feel like they're in their last 10 pounds or so, and you may start using phrases like more definition or stop being skinny fat. The primary focus here will still be fat loss, so everything in stage 1 still applies. But now it's time to start strength training if you haven't already started yet. No matter what routine you pick, make sure that it is progressive overload strength training. This means you're increasing the intensity of your exercises from workout to workout. If you're not able to do this, either you're not lifting correctly, you're not recovering adequately, or you're simply not pushing yourself hard enough. You also need to watch your protein intake. I recommend 0.8 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight per day, and make sure you spread the protein throughout the day. Don't just eat it all in one sitting because your body can't actually utilize a ton of protein at once, and it doesn't store the excess later, so you gotta spread it out.
The third stage is the 10 to 14% body fat range. Most men at this stage just switch to maintenance at this point. However, achievers who really want to go the extra mile and get that sculpted look need extra work. In addition to everything from stage 2, recovery is now crucial. This means getting enough sleep and drinking enough water. It doesn't matter how much you lift, if you're not recovering, you'll stop seeing progress. A water calculator is included in the description below. For what to do about calories, you have 3 main options. The first option is the macro cut and bulk cycle, where you eat in a deficit for 12 to 16 weeks. An example of this is to eat in a 10 to 20% calorie surplus for 12 to 16 weeks while you're only focused on gaining muscle. Then eat in a 10 to 30% calorie deficit and lose more fat. During the bulking phase, you don't need cardio, but during the cutting phase, feel free to add cardio. This is basically like a traditional cutting and bulking cycle that bodybuilders do. The pros of this method is that your goal is clear. You're either cutting more fat or you're building more muscle. Because you're not working on competing goals within a short time window, you'll see more visible changes in your body more quickly, so you'll know whether or not you're making progress week over week. The con of this method is that when you're bulking, the scale weight will obviously go up, and you likely gain a bit of fat along with the muscle, especially if you're trying to do this on your own. When cutting, the scale will go down, and you likely lose a bit of muscle along with fat. This can really mess up with your head. The second option is the meso cut and bulk cycle for days within the week. An example of this is to eat more on training days and less on off days. This is a classic example because on days you strength train, your body uses the extra nutrients to build your muscles. The pros of this method is that you're not as likely to gain fat on accident, and your scale weight should generally not change much. But the cons are that this method requires a lot of patience and also planning. And because your body will be burning fat sometimes and building muscle other times, you will see very slow visible changes. Expect to notice every few months instead of week-to-week progress. The final option is the micro cut and bulk cycle, aka meal timing. An example of this method is to increase your calorie, protein, carb intake in the meals around your workout, which you're basically bracketing your meals around your workout. And then you eat way less for the rest of the day. This can be simple to follow for intermittent fasters who only eat 1 to 2 big meals a day. But visible changes show up even more slowly, and this is not recommended for grazers, aka people who just snack throughout the day.
The final stage is the 6 to 9% body fat range. Transitioning to this stage is very difficult, and there really isn't any reason to do it other than for aesthetic purposes or just to see if you can. I definitely don't recommend going below 6% body fat for men because it can get unhealthy. And even professional bodybuilders don't go below 6% past their events or photo shoots. So, those photos that you see online of all the super jacked people, yeah, they don't actually look like that year round. But if you want to keep progressing within this range, you must do everything covered in stage 3. Plus, dramatically reducing the sweets and processed foods that you eat. Increasing vegetables, preferably eat it every meal. Increase your protein and carbs and do it around your workout. And you will be meal planning most, if not all, of your meals. This is sustainable, but only for the most disciplined people. And you have to be patient at this stage as well. It may take up to a year to notice visible differences.
That's a lot to take in, but you can do it with some trial and error. Most people don't get this exactly right on their first many tries. But if you want to shortcut through all of the trial and error and get tried and proven guidance from Lucy and I, this is exactly the kind of thing we help our clients with. So I'm happy to announce that a few spots have opened up for our free one-on-one consult for our Badass Body Boss program. It is a very high-touch program, and so spots are very limited. So if you're serious, go ahead and click on the link in the description below to book a one-on-one free consult for our Badass Body Boss program. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, be sure to subscribe, and share this video with whoever you feel could use this information. And be sure to check out these 2 videos to learn more about how to lose fat and gain muscle like a body boss. You can do it.